I'm doing great.
I came to know Richard, probably like a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And Richard lives in Wimberley, Texas, and he actually has a amazing story that I just want him to share with us today. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. And so here you sit today, like in this wheelchair, and you were not here 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So share with us some things that have transpired in your life over the past 13 years.
Well, this got started when I was 45. 3 daughters and a wife. All the kids were in school at the time. They're grown and living around here now. But I went out one day for a run, and my vision was crossed. And I knew something was wrong, but I had no idea what. And so I just went back in the house and I called my eye doctor and he checked me out. And the next day, actually, he checked me out and he said, "Hey, your eyes are fine, but I think you should go get an MRI." So I went to the hospital across the street. The next day, they did everything very quickly. I think they knew that something was seriously wrong. Did an MRI. And the doctor called me back that evening and he said, "Richard, I've got some bad news for you." They found a lesion in the deep back part of your brain. And at that point, after he kind of broke that bad news to me, I went outside and I just cried for a long time because initially I thought, my life is over, this is it. I mean, who lives through brain cancer? But that kind of attitude just didn't last too long for me. Because,
Share with us. So when you went out into the parking lot and you cried, what was the feelings that you were going through? Was it like, why don't you share
wow.
that?
That was traumatic because, like I said, I had 3 daughters and a wife, and I felt like, I knew they counted on me to be their provider and caretaker. And I thought, oh, that's coming to an end. That's over. And yes, I felt very sad and desperate at that time.
Okay. So, what was your relationship with God? Like at that point, like in your life.
I was raised Christian. My parents still go to church every Sunday, and good folks. And I had an okay, medium relationship with Christ or with God. I didn't feel like it was very strong. And in a way that kind of scared me, but at the same time, I knew that God was there for me. And I just needed to reach out and say, "Hey, I'm here, and I need your help. I need you in my life." And like a lot of people, I guess, when life gets tough, they get more religious sometimes,
Yeah, that's true.
And that certainly happened with me. But I think it was important, too, that I always had that back there. I knew that God was there for me. I knew that my Creator was there for me. I just needed to say, "Hey, I'm here also. Please be in my life and help me."
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you were diagnosed with cancer, and how soon after that did you start chemo treatments, radiation treatments?
I don't remember exactly, but I do know this, that I had an MRI, and they scheduled surgery for about 10 days later. It was just bam, 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 just as quick as possible. And after I had the surgery, there was a short period of recovery, and then I went through the typical medical processes of chemo and radiation.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing that really impressed me a lot, George, was that several doctors, at least 3, said, "You've got a stage 4 brain cancer, and we can maybe we can lengthen your life a little bit and make you more comfortable, but we cannot cure this. It's not a curable kind of deal." And like I said, I had at least 3 doctors, and I tell you what, when a guy comes into your room and he's got PhD, MD, and he's wearing a white robe, and he says, "This is the truth," it's hard to not give that a whole lot of credit. It's hard to walk away from that and say, "I've got a greater leader. I've got somebody else that I'm going to talk to and lean on. And his name is Jesus Christ. And you know,